Well, Jim, your first half, you guys shot 64.5%. Unfortunately, you weren't able to carry that into the second half. Give me an overall recap of this contest.
When you shoot 64%, you're still not winning the game. You've got some issues already. I just felt like defensively, we didn't do enough to close down gaps. The guys like Brett Hansen get to the rim so easy. If you don't close down gaps on them, they shot the ball well. We shot it well, but so did they. The game goes back and forth, and the one run, we took a 5-point lead in the second half, and we had a couple bad spells on offense. And our transition defense was a little slow. And if you're slow against Florida Southern, they're going to make you pay. And they got down the court, next you know, we're down 4 or 5 points.
Now, obviously, your first game in January, you beat them in overtime, a very up-tempo game. On the Sports Exchange the other night, there's no question I was able to see your up-tempo style in person. So tell me a little bit about the comparisons between that contest and this one.
Not a whole lot of difference. I mean, you look at it, at the end of 40 minutes, both teams up there had, 90-some points, and here both teams are close to it. It comes down to a shot here, a shot there, a referee's call you don't like here or there, and it's a 2 or 4 point difference. So basically, the games were almost exactly the same. Difference was we got a couple breaks, made a couple shots, they missed a couple shots down the stretch. Tonight, that wasn't the case.
I know that you were a little upset, and Lewis and I noticed it ourselves about that one goaltending call that should have been called. In my opinion, I've been around the game a long time. That should have been 2 points in your pocket.
Yeah, it was just a missed call, which happens. Referees make bad calls, and that was a bad call. But it was a costly bad call because not only we not get the 2, it translated 2 on the other end for them quickly. So,
right.
That was kind of painful. But there's certain things you can control and certain things you can't control. I found out I'm having trouble controlling the referees. I'm trying, but it's not working for me yet.
All right, so you obviously have to move forward now. So, let's talk about your season in general up to this particular point and what lies ahead.
Well, we've had a great year so far, but it's not over yet. We got 4 big games out in front of us, 3 of them on the road. We've got to play Palm Beach Atlantic, who's in 3rd place in the league, and won probably 6 in a row right now. They're probably one of the hottest teams in the league outside of us and Florida Southern, very talented. We've got to go to Embry-Riddle on the road. We've got to go to Florida Tech on the road. We've got to play Berry, rival here in our gym. So we've got a really tough schedule ahead of us. So you worry about, does losing a game affect that in a negative way? My job is to make sure it doesn't happen.
Well, obviously we had a top 10 matchup today. What is your team thinking in the locker room right now? Are they thinking that this one really got away from them when they should have been able to have it, or what's mindset going forward?
I think their general mindset is, we in Florida Southern, we've shown we're a really pretty even matchup, and you've got to do the little things, whether it's a rebound or a loose ball or a little better defense, to make the 2 or 4 point difference in a game like this. You can't afford to make mistakes. I hope that's what they're thinking right now, because that's what we talked about after the game. It wasn't a winner and yell, we lost, and be upset. The guys played pretty hard. We need to take a game like this, and the reality of it is, it's a team that could have beat us the first game because it was an overtime game, and this is a game we could have beat them. It comes down to these type of games. If we'd have made a couple more shots the second half, they'd missed a couple, and we'd have won the game. We'd all be talking about all the good things that happened, how well we play and everything. Well, the game was pretty much the same as last time. We were ecstatic last time. We're a little bit down because we lost, but not down about effort or our style of play.
When you look at the history of these 2 teams, obviously Florida Southern has had your number throughout the years, and you obviously won game 1. How important would it have been for you guys to be able to sweep the series against a very strong basketball team?
Yeah, these guys are oblivious to history, as am I. They don't have my number or these players' numbers right now. They've had Nova's numbers for people that we don't know, So it's kind of like, right now with them, we've probably gone 500 with them. They're a top program in the country every year, and we've pretty well split with them, I think, in my time here. It's only 3 years though. I know we've beaten them every year. We've been here, but we probably lost to them every year too, split. They really aren't affected by things that happened 3 or 4 years ago. Right now, these guys are new blood. They're thinking we're one of the better teams in the country, which I think this probably was 2 of the top 10 teams in the country going at it right here. They know that. They feel that way. I don't think they're lacking for confidence right now.
Okay, and 2 other questions here before we wrap it up. Number 1, a top 10 matchup. Do you feel this loss like this is going to get you much more prepared for the tournament, knowing that you had these are the types of games you can expect in the postseason?
I don't know if the loss or win either way helps you in the tournament, but the game itself does.
Right.
It's a tough game. It's a game where you got to be tough, especially down the wire and in the second half. And they see that. And it's almost a little bit of a reality check of, from a coaching standpoint, you tell them things in practice every day about how important it is to get down and guard guys and not go for ball fakes and force the guys like the Brett Hansons to go wider so we can get a little more help. And today it became a reality, and it's not just me saying it in practice, they saw it live. So games like this, I think, from a coaching standpoint, they help me. They help me say, okay guys, this is what I'm talking about. It's not just me out there in practice every day saying this is how it's going to go. They actually saw it up live. So it's a good teaching point.
Let's talk about your leading scorer, Mark Matthews. He had one fine game. What was it, 30 points?
32.
32 points. Pretty good game for him.
He's strong. He's a scorer. He knows how to get the ball from the glass, get the ball inside. He's got good touch from 15 feet and in. He's going to score. He's hard to stop. We bank on him. Our offense goes through him most of the time. And
finally, what do you want everybody to know about what lies ahead? What do people have to look forward to with Nova Southeastern University going forward?
It's if nothing else, I heard someone say, "Well, it's one of the best college games they've seen when they were walking out of here." I thought, we're gonna be that type of team. We're not gonna be the type of team that a fan comes and doesn't feel like they got their money worth. We are going to be out there getting after it, playing as hard as we can, win or lose every single game.
All right, this is Scott Morganroth for the South Florida Tribune Broadcasting Network. Thanking Jim Crutchfield for being on the show Thursday night, the Sports Exchange, and we look forward to having you on next week, as well as the time that you spent with us. Coach Crutchfield, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Yep.